This Christmas, families and children in need do not have to go without presents to open.
And why a K-State transgender student can't play on the male or female rugby team.
After an attack at Ohio State, KSU students prepare for the worst-case scenarios and how to survive.
It's about 27 degrees outside right now in Manhattan. Make sure before you head out, you wipe the frost off your car. I'll have that and more coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. It's the 1st of December. I'm Grant Flanders.
And I'm Lisa Olberding. We've got a busy show for you today as we finish out the semester.
A K-State student has been removed from the K-State women's rugby team for beginning hormonal treatment therapy. Reporter Katie Howland has more.
The rugby community has always prided itself in being open and inclusive of all players. However, this was not the case for Lane Littlejohn. Former women's rugby player Littlejohn began transitioning from female to male a little over a year ago. This past October, he decided to take it one step further.
I felt like I wanted to begin to medically transition, and part of that is hormone replacement therapy, and for me, since I would be transitioning male, I began taking testosterone.
Littlejohn was very open about his transition with his teammates and his coach, Rachel Pate. But because of the USA Rugby anti-doping laws, Pate had to tell Littlejohn that he could no longer play on the rugby team.
I said, you've been taking testosterone, and he said, yeah, so I can't play anymore. And I was like, you can't, it's under the banned substances, and it's, part of the anti-doping manners.
Casey abides by USA and World Rugby's anti-doping laws, which state that a transitioning player must take testosterone for a total of 2 years, have their gender changed on all official documents, have a surgical transition, and then must be approved by an independent medical advisory board.
It's definitely possible that people can meet those requirements, but I think they're really hard and restrictive rules, simply because a lot of trans individuals simply don't have access to those sorts of treatments, don't have the sort of financial stability to be able to have access to hormone replacement therapy, and definitely not to surgery.
Nick Ciro, manager of communications at USA Rugby, explains why it's important to have strict anti-doping laws.
It is our responsibility to work within the rules of our international governing body to make sure that there is fair play for all. Not necessarily a rule measured against those making a transition. It's a rule that is about anti-doping internationally.
So it's really rough to say, hey, you made this decision to make yourself happy, and now you can't have this other part of your life that also makes you happy. We are really inclusive. We're a family, and I would bend over backwards for any one of my players, and Lane definitely still fits that standard.
In Manhattan, here for Channel 8 News, I'm Katie Howland.
A third K-State student has joined a sexual assault lawsuit against the university. The school allegedly refused to investigate her claims of being raped because the incident occurred off campus. Crystal Stroop was added to the initial lawsuit on Monday, joining Sarah Weckhorst and Tessa Farmer. The plaintiff's attorney, Carrie Simons, says that these attacks could have easily been prevented.
The lawsuit explains that K-State didn't move forward to investigate the sexual assault Sarah Weckhorst reported, letting the student go unpunished and uninvestigated, and he went on to assault another student. Had they investigated whether that required sexual assault be in its code, or a change that's in some other way, or just following its policy as it's written, had they done an investigation, our lawsuit says that it could have prevented the rape of the second victim.
Kansas State University refused to provide comment about the ongoing lawsuit.
Ohio State University was put on lockdown Monday after an attacker brought a butcher knife to stab students. OSU tweeted for students to run, hide, and fight. K-State police offer students training for these occurrences known as ALICE, Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. Channel 8 News reporter Sophia Woodard has the latest.
A group of students invited Officer Randy Miles to host a session of ALICE training on November 29th.
Our goal was to get people on campus aware of how to handle this type of situation.
While the requirement was for class, the topic and how they approached it was up to the students. After ALICE training in Town Hall and the Leadership Studies building, participants received papers like this, containing information on what's next. Part of what's next being the new policies allowing conceal and carry on campus, making gun safety and education a topic many students have become interested in. In addition to that, the recent scare at Ohio State University, which was initially reported and alerted to students as a shooting, has made the topic seem all too possible for students like Nolan Yap.
Actually, I wanted to learn more about what happened in Ohio. I wanted to know, what would I do if that happened here at K-State.
Not everyone is excited about new policy changes on gun control at K-State. Shanice Battles, one of the student organizers, says that some students have expressed concerns to her that open her eyes to how it can affect how safe or unsafe someone feels on campus.
People already have a dislike for certain minority groups. So then adding an environment to where concealed carry is a thing, does that heighten the amount of risk for a minority student?
As for Nolan Yap, he believes allowing concealed carry will actually deter something like what happened at Ohio State University.
I think that the more people we have on campus with concealed carry, it allows us to give a deterrent away from an active shooter on campus, gives them more of a moving target, gives them, an idea that, well, I'm not going to just go in for a shooting spree. There's going to be a defense there as well.
On K-State's campus, I'm Sophia Woodard for Channel 8 News.
A traditional mascot has sparked local interest among the Manhattan community. Alicia Saucedo has the story.
It has struck again in School District 383. Manhattan High's mascot was recently put into question, but this isn't the first time. The Indian has been the high school's mascot for more than 70 years and has been questioned several times by the members of the community dating back to 2001. The mascot was last questioned by the school last year in 2015. The public input session included both student and alumni groups that were either for or against retiring the mascot. Those in favor of keeping the mascot see it as an honorable tradition rather than being offensive.
I want to keep it because it's a symbol of pride. Yes, it is a tradition. It's over 75 years of a tradition. But what we have is an honor, I believe, for the Indians as the mascot. We are honoring the Native Americans. We are not degrading them.
On the other hand, those who wish to retire the mascot find it disrespectful to the Native American culture.
There are definitely students in this school who don't feel safe coming to school. We took a survey that said, that asked many different questions, one of which was, do you feel personally offended by the mascot? And over 56 students said that they do.
Although there are some that would like to see the mascot change, others believe in keeping the mascot because of who it honors. On March 8, 1940, the selection was made in honor of Manhattan teacher and football coach Frank Prenumpt. Prenumpt's son was in attendance and expressed his opinion to keep the mascot honoring his father. The board members are hoping to come to a decision based on the testimonies from the discussion. From Manhattan, I'm Alicia Saucedo, Channel 8 News.
The Board of Education will continue to take public comment on the Manhattan High School mascot issue through letters, emails, and phone calls through December 7th at 6:30 p.m. Student-run radio station 91.9 KSDB-FM will host a roundtable discussion on Monday at 7 p.m. with leaders on both sides of the issue. The final decision will be broadcast on Cox Cable Channel 20.
You know, Lisa, food is one of those things that makes the holiday so special.
That's right, and we're going to be making a special treat right here in the studio when we come back. You won't want to miss this.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
We'll carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year to give back. Joining us is Channel 8 reporter Jennifer Edgar to share the story of a local charity.
That's right, Lisa. With Christmas right around the corner, some Manhattan families have to choose between keeping the lights on or putting gifts under the tree. Toys for Manhattan volunteers are making sure that all Manhattan kids had something to open on Christmas morning. Baby dolls, teddy bears, action figures, and table after table of toys fill the building. Clothes, movies, books, and decorations for different holidays line the walls. This is Toys for Manhattan, and for the past 14 years, Judy Padgett has worked as the director. She's brushed dolls' hair, cleaned toys, and made Build-A-Bear kits, all in hope that a child will not have to go without a gift this Christmas.
Well, it was started 50 years ago by a police officer in this community that got a call on Christmas Eve to a home with lots of children and no Christmas. And he went back to the station and told his fellow officers to clean out the box. These kids were going to have Christmas. So thus the Experience Toy program started.
Toys for Manhattan accepts new and experienced gifts to distribute to families in need on Saturday, December 3rd, 10th, and 17th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at their shop at 612 Pillsbury Drive. Though the work isn't always easy, Padgett says it's fun thanks to the volunteers.
Everybody, I've said this is for the community, by the community, and the more I say that to them and the more places I've talked and whatever, and everybody tells their friends, that kind of thing, then the word just spreads.
In Manhattan, I'm Jennifer Edgar for Channel 8 News.
If you want to help, several businesses across Manhattan are accepting donations on behalf of Toys for Manhattan.
You can find out where to leave your donations by visiting toysformanhattan.com.
What was it like at Toys for Manhattan, Jen?
Well, everyone was so passionate about their work. One of the volunteers I met, Tiffany, she's actually worked with Toys for Manhattan for 14 years, and she still loves pairing up Barbie doll shoes or putting together a dollhouse. It was really cool.
So they take Barbies and dollhouses. What other kind of toys can you donate?
Well, you can donate toys like these ones here, but they also accept toys, decorations, and even monetary donations.
Speaking of decorations, for some students at K-State, the holiday spirit is something new. For international students, Christmas time in America is different than what they are used to. They are new to the Christmas trees, the lights, and decorations. Rizlan Siba from Morocco says the only ones that celebrate Christmas in Morocco are the millennials. They get together on Christmas, but not for the same reasons.
It happens to be the holiday season 2, concerning high schools and college. So people get together because it's holidays, but it's not really Christmas. It's more of we don't have school tomorrow, so let's just get together. Or we all have holidays, so let's get together. But it's not for the Christmas as much as it is we can do it.
Although Christmas spirit may be new to some, food is always a favorite to many. I'm here with Mallory Diekman, a member of the cooking club Spoon University, to share a holiday recipe. What are we making today, Mallory?
So we're going to make red-nosed power cats, like Rudolph, but we've got power cats instead of the reindeer, and we're going to decorate them. I'm going to put you to work. Here's your whisk. You got some powdered sugar, and I'm going to add a little bit of milk.
Okay.
And just whisk it up.
Okay.
And we're going to make a little frosting, and we're going to dye it. Oh, that's okay. I say you have to make a mess when you're cooking, otherwise you're not doing it right. So you're doing something right. We're going to make it a little purple to spread the pride of the Wildcats.
Okay, I like this.
And we're going to decorate it too with our little red noses and other buttercream frostings and stuff. You're doing good.
So how can people connect with you on social media?
So I host a live cooking show every Tuesday at 5 o'clock on Facebook, and it's actually broadcast on the National Spoon University, and anyone around the world can watch it. And I cook live, and whatever happens, it happens live. So you got to roll with the punches and hope everything works out when you make it.
So what can you tell me more about Spoon University?
Yeah, so it's basically like it's the Food Network and BuzzFeed met up and created the best thing ever. And so we write articles, produce videos, all that kind of stuff. We do a lot of stuff locally in Manhattan, and then we do things outside too. Basically, if you love food, all of our meetings really involve it at some way. So yeah, it's really cool. We meet every Monday at 5 o'clock and just talk about what's going on in the food world.
Wow, okay. So what is your favorite thing about this specific recipe?
Well, I think that it's very specific to K-State as it is because we have the Wildcat. There you go, beautiful. And cookies are super easy and really fun to decorate with your family and everyone. So decorate however you want, maybe a little Ema.
I like it. I like it. Put in a little ear.
Yeah.
Oh, frosting too.
I mean, you can't have enough sugar when it's in the holiday season. And it's messy, which makes it delicious to eat.
Well, I give you props for, this looks like it's going to be delicious.
I think we should try it. Oh, frosting everywhere. Cheers.
While we celebrate the holidays, Bill Snyder is celebrating his second time to the century mark. That and more when we return.
Open doors, warm hellos, classes spark ideas, traditions create memories, labs lead to partners, late nights, crazy nights. Hail, hail, hail? Studying hard, hardly studying. One last Manhattan sunset, caps and gowns, pomp and circumstance. We're on this journey together, remembering that every open door can lead to a warm hello. What is the K-State experience? Family, pride, you. Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land grant university? Community, progress, you. We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it
No,
snow.
no, no.
Okay. Let's turn to weatherman Braxton Jones to know if temperatures will be frightful or delightful.
That's right. Now, today is December the 1st, meaning we're still 20 days away from the official beginning of winter. But if you take a look at the national temperatures, you can see the country's kind of got a head start on it. We're going to be a little bit warmer in the south side of the country, but that is to be as expected. Taking a look at the state map, there's going to be a national map. When you see the temperatures across going down, that means you're going to see a lot more cloud cover across the country. Now, unless you're in the southeast part of the country where you're going to see nothing but clear skies and sunshine. Now, taking a look at the state map, Kansas, you're going to be across the state. It's going to be a lot of low temperatures compared to the last year's temperatures around this time. 32 in Sedgwick County is going to be really, really cold, so make sure you're bundled up. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. It's a big week for K-State sports, so you want to make sure you're not left out in the cold. Unless you're able to travel to TCU game this week, you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything going on in Manhattan. Thursday is going to be, tonight is going to be a high of 48, meaning that you're going to want to bundle up before you head out to the women's basketball game tonight as they take on Auburn. Don't forget about the volleyball matchups this Friday and Saturday, 50 on Friday and 45 degree on Saturday. Sunday and Monday should see some light cloud cover with some precipitation to follow as well. Be sure to stay tuned for more weather updates.
A world-renowned spokesperson for autism visited McCain Auditorium earlier this week. Fans packed McCain, and almost 200 of her fans had to stand in the lobby to watch the lecture on TVs. Grandin is well known For sharing her insights from her personal experiences with autism, she is also famous for finding a humane way to treat livestock. She has won many awards, has been subject in a biographical film, and has written many books. She has been an inspiration to many people, and some lucky fans were able to meet her at her book signing event in the Beach Museum of Art.
Well, I've always been a fan of Temple since I was really little. I am dyslexic, so that was, she's a big motivator for people who have learning disabilities. So I'm always interested in what she has to say about that.
Now, finals are coming up, and later in the show, we'll have tips on how to survive the final push of the school year.
But first, the K-State Volley Cats have made their way to the NCAA tournament in their own backyard. Stay with us.
Oh man, the fans, Manhattan, Octagon, the door, it's a tough place to play, we feed off the energy.
Better get ready, because here come the Wildcats.
Wiesman, does she hit a board? Oh my goodness, in the zone!
Lewis running the floor, catches, spins, and scores. How about that footwork? K-State have won in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Family is everything. They're the reason you work so hard and your motivation to reach for more. Your K-State family offers a way to get that degree you've always wanted. Kansas State University Global Campus provides flexible online learning and professional development opportunities. We'll be there when you're ready. Enroll now for K-State Global Campus. Always on, always there.
Coach Snyder hits a career milestone.
And men's basketball was in action last night. Channel 8 sports reporter Rachel Tucker has more.
Thanks, Lisa. The men's basketball team was in action last night against the University of Wisconsin at Green Bay. K-State got off to a quick start and never looked back. They led for all but 52 seconds in the 80-61 victory. While the game was sloppy at times, the Cats shared and shot the ball so well it didn't matter. The Cats piled up 20 assists on 56% shooting. The Cats were led in scoring by sophomore guard Barry Brown, who finished with 18 points. He has scored in double digits in every game so far this season. The Wildcats responded well after a heartbreaking loss to Maryland last Sunday in the Barclays Center Classic.
It was a tough game. That game stuck between some big games in Brooklyn. Obviously, a disappointing loss to Maryland. You saw Maryland had a celebration hangover and just laid an egg. Now, we have the other kind of hangover, and that's what I kind of challenged them on, come ready to play. So we did. Thought we had a couple nice runs.
Up next for the Wildcats is a trip to St. Louis to take on the St. Louis Billikens on Saturday night. The Volleycats are headed to the NCAA tournament and will be hosting for the 5th time under Coach Susie Fritz. Carolina Mack has more on what's coming up for the volleyball team.
K-State's volleyball program has played in the NCAA tournament the past 3 years and will be playing again this year, but it will certainly be different.
We are more than thrilled to have an opportunity to still be playing, one, and to have an opportunity to be able to play at home is big. It's big time.
The top 16 teams host in the NCAA volleyball tournament, so being seeded 14th overall means that the Wildcats will be playing at home.
I think this one's definitely going to be different because it's at home, and in the years past being in Lincoln was kind of difficult, out of our element a little bit, and here having our home crowd behind us and the experience definitely of the last 4.5 years, and with so many other veteran players as well, I think it's going to be different, and we're more confident coming in this year for sure. Definitely we feel like we've seen everything out there now, and we feel like we can play with anyone, so the preparation has been key this year.
The Volleycats have spent the last few practices transitioning from Ahern Fieldhouse to Bramlage Coliseum for the tournament.
To still see all that purple around us, it's still a great place to play. It's definitely different than Ahern. It's not our home court, but I think we still feel that home court advantage there.
Number 14 seed, we think we've earned it, and we want to be able to take it and go as far as we can.
K-State will play Lipscomb Friday, December 2nd at 7:30 in Bramlage Coliseum. In Manhattan with Channel 8 News, I'm Carolina Mack.
After a bye week, the K-State football team took on KU for their last home game and senior night this past Saturday. The Cats led the Jayhawks 20-3 going into halftime. Although the Jayhawks were able to score in the third quarter, K-State defeated KU 34-19. With the win over KU, the seniors, along with the rest of the Wildcats, earned Coach Bill Snyder his 200th win. Snyder is the sixth coach to hit 200 wins with one university. Although Coach Snyder commented that the team did play rather ugly against KU, his team was excited to celebrate his achievement by pouring water on Snyder and carrying him off the field.
Have said to the players in the locker room, there's so many, 200's a number, and it's what, maybe what that stands for, and it stands for a lot of wonderful young people that have come through this program, and every single one of them has contributed to that particular number.
The football team will be back in action this Saturday at TCU. And that's all we have for sports today. Be sure to catch all your favorite Wildcat sports in action this weekend. Now back to Lisa and Grant at the desk.
That's quite an achievement to win 200 games.
That's right, Lisa. And if you're studying for finals right now, we've got some tips coming up that are bound to make you a winner.
Oh man, the fans, Manhattan, Octagon, the door, it's a tough place to play. We feed off the energy.
Better get ready, because here come the Wildcats.
Wiesman, does she hit a fourth? Oh my goodness, in the zone!
Lewis running the floor, catches, spins, and scores. How about that footwork? K-State have won in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Family is everything. They're the reason you work so hard and your motivation to reach for more. Your K-State family offers a way to get that degree you've always wanted. Kansas State University Global Campus provides flexible online learning and professional development opportunities. We'll be there when you're ready. Enroll now for K-State Global Campus. Always on, always there.
Finals week fast approaching. K-State students have a lot on their plate. Some may have difficulty fighting the procrastination itch in order to find time to study. Others may feel a heap of stress weighing them down. Counseling services at K-State and their psychologists have made it their mission to help students manage their time wisely and overcome stress. That's all the time we have today.
Be sure to follow Channel 8 News on Twitter and Facebook for the latest updates. Thanks for joining us.
This is Channel 8 News.